We're changing the water pump on a Porsche 996. It's the same pump as a 986, but different motors, different procedures. You start by removing the 13mm bolt from the air cleaner. Then you can undo the hose clamp at the throttle body. Then you'll pop the oil filler tube out of its clamp. And don't forget to unplug your mass airflow sensor. Then it just lifts out. Once that's out, you've got access to the engine compartment, so you can remove your belt. You just put a big socket on the tensioner pulley and turn it clockwise. That will release the tension on the belt, and you can slip it off the pulleys. Make sure you have a diagram of how it goes back on. For this procedure, I actually put the car in ramps to give the camera better access underneath, but you don't have to. I did it on the ground the first time. Once you have the belt off, you can spin the pulleys. You can hear if there's a wobble or if the grinding noise. You can tell if the pulley needs to be replaced. In this case, looks like my idler pulleys may need a little help soon, so I ordered replacements for those. But when it comes down to it, it's definitely the water pump that's making the noise. When you look underneath, sure enough, the water pump is leaking coolant. So step one, I go ahead and undo the hose clamp. If you look at the top right, there's actually a drain plug, but I can never get mine out, so I have to just pull my hoses and catch the backwash there as it all pours down. It's kind of a tricky maneuver to do it cleanly, and as you can see, I don't do it very cleanly. So once you drain the coolant, you can sock off those hoses and then undo the muffler clamps. So once you have the muffler clamps loosened, they slide off the ends of the muffler bracket. Then you take the two 15mm bolts out of the muffler bracket, and it just slides right off. Once you have that off, you've got two more 15mm nuts to take off, and then one 10mm bolt to take out. And once you have those three off, you take that second little bracket off. So once that bracket's off, then you look up, you've got two more 15mm nuts that you don't have to take all the way off. You can just loosen them. You'll need a wrench to get to one, and the top one you can get with a socket from the top. Then you've got to jack up your engine to take the weight off of that plate. So as you lift the engine, you should see that that engine mount bracket kind of comes loose, and you can slide it forward, and that'll give you room to be able to slide your water pump out once you get it unbolted. Now that the engine bracket's loosened and out, you can go to town on the 7 10mm bolts. Make sure you pay attention to which ones are different sizes. A couple taps to knock the gaskets loose, and you've got your water pump off. Catch is, mine didn't come off. I had to remove the two side bolts, and at the rear there's another bolt on this hard metal line that goes around. Once I had those three bolts off, I could drop the line down and then pull the hose from the thermostat housing and then drop that line down past the thermostat housing, which then gave me clearance to take the water pump in and out. As you can see, once that's done, water pump slides in and out, no problem. You can hear the dead bearings in the old pump. Here's the new pump, big difference. Make sure you clean all the gasket and sealant off the old housing on the motor. You want a clean surface to mate it up. Some people might criticize me for my use of silicone here, but I don't want it to leak. It's hard enough to get parts. It takes a week to get a replacement pump. If this leaks when I put it on, I'm stuck for another week until I've got a new gasket. So it's I use a lot of it and spread it out along all the mating surfaces. I don't go outside the bolts, as I don't think you need to do that, but some people go ahead and cover the bolts as well. Now I go ahead and seat the gasket on the water pump, and then I'm going to go ahead and put more silicone on the other side of the gasket where it'll meet up with the engine. So now slides back in, bolts back up, and we reattach our hoses. Make sure you put your metal hose back above the thermostat housing before you reattach your hoses. You want to put your belt back on. It's a lot easier to get it down past the water pump while the engine bracket's loose. Then bolt everything back up, fill yourself back up. This is your burp valve. You want to drive with it open for a couple miles to burp out any air, and you should be set. So there you go. Good luck.